Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we present the first look at Dormammu. Now, this is just the second sneak peek of the upcoming patch 2.9 that will be dropping sometime next week by all accounts, and I cannot confirm with absolute certainty that this is Dormammu, but if this is not Dormammu, then we are in for some massive, epic, company scale trolling. I cannot imagine this to be any character other than Dormammu, from the flaming head to the giant, like, celestial type body looking over the earth. I mean, there are so many classic comic images that have done this before, with Dormammu holding the world in his hands, that this is almost guaranteed to be Dormammu. And I know what you guys might be thinking. Well, Cynicalex, didn't you do the new update first look like 3 days ago, 2 days ago? Yes, but it's Dormammu, guys. I mean, this patch, the more we learn about it, the more it seems like this is going to be huge. I mean, the first two sneak peeks have already revealed a lot of awesome information. We're getting new characters, we're getting new bosses, we're getting probably Dormammu. Besides the quality of life stuff, guys, this is looking like a huge patch, not to mention the fact that apparently either in this patch or the next one we're supposed to get Monsters Unleashed. We've already seen artwork come out of it for the main artist for Future Fight, so it would be strange of them to release that and tease that and then not follow it up with something, Kid Kaiju, etc. So there's just so much to get through, to unpack. And also, guys, I want to say I really loved all of the commentary and all of the back and forth and the banter and the ideas that you guys threw out there in the first look video. I'm really starting to enjoy the kind of mini community that we can build in the comment sections of some of these videos. So I really just wanted to have that opportunity again, and to resurface this topic and to get people thinking and talking again, because we all love Marvel. Dormammu's a badass, and you know, we're finally getting him in this game, it looks like, so you know, we should relish the moment, guys. Now, if you guys don't know who Dormammu is, or if you don't understand why I'm so hyped for Dormammu in Marvel Future Fight, let's take a couple steps back and figure out who we're dealing with here. Now, Dormammu is basically the like biggest or the baddest villain foe that Doctor Strange has. He's not his like arch nemesis the way Baron Mordo is, but Dormammu is the thing that keeps Doctor Strange up at night, the one that goes bump in the night, the one under the bed, out of sight, fright at night, Freddy's Friday 5 Nights. Okay, Dormammu is like this giant being who can take different shapes, and he's like this massive energy thing, and he chills in the dark dimension, but really he can go wherever he wants. And he's been shown in the comics to be so powerful that he can take on actual like celestial beings without help, which basically makes him one of the strongest Marvel characters, period. He's had chess matches with Odin. He's inhabited the bodies of like so many different heroes to try to take over and subvert the world. He's converted entire, you know, races of mindless ones into his own personal pets. He can basically do any kind of skill or magic or power that you can think of. Energy manipulation, teleportation, you know, he can basically screw with everything, necromancy, all the good stuff, guys. And he's one of the greatest villains of all time, and he's one of Doctor Strange's greatest villains of all time, which is why I'm so excited to have him in this game, to have someone in this game that will be able to potentially match Doctor Strange, or at least build up more of the Doctor Strange universe in Marvel Future Fight. I would love that. As well, guys, we don't get it in this update as far as the English Netmarble Future Fight post goes, but all accounts do point to there being multiple characters coming out of this update. So we're not just going to be getting Dormammu, guys, we're going to be getting some other characters. There's a strong hint or a strong connotation in some of the other languages that have been translated, like the Japanese, Mobirum or the Chinese Mobirum, that there is going to be more Inhumans coming to the game. Which Inhumans, I obviously am not sure of, I can't say. I would really love to see Brother Voodoo in this game, or should I say Dr. Voodoo. To get basically another Sorcerer Supreme in this game would be awesome, especially if he was similar in power level to Doctor Strange, but maybe of a different typing, maybe Combat, for example, or maybe Universal, I don't know. But we are for sure getting Dormammu, and I am so excited for that, guys. And I will say at the before we get into anything else, that yes, there is a problem of his size. Currently, we don't have any creature or thing or hero or villain in the game that takes up this kind of size most of the time. We do have like the Midgard Serpent and a lot of the Asgardian villains, but they are only bosses. So there is still the looming question of whether or not Dormammu is going to be a playable character. While I personally hope that he will be, I'm still pretty 50-50 on whether it's actually going to happen in the game, if he'll just be a boss or if he'll be a playable character. It would be pretty shitty to tease him in this way and have him not be playable. I think that would drum up a lot of backlashable hype on Netmarble's part, if that's even a word. And I do have examples of games where they do represent Dormammu in one way or another visually, where he is a man, because Dormammu originally was a man, and then through his journeys he encountered with his sister, the Dark Dimension, and then they, grew in power to the point where they took on this kind of larger than life, kind of universal or universe spanning influential force. He's kind of like a force now. He's more than a man. He's not quite a woman yet, though. He's not a girl, but he's not quite a woman. So yeah, Dormammu can be displayed as we can see here. We can call him Lego Mamu. We can call him Mini Mamu. There's basically multiple different ways that Netmarble could go about this, and given the awesome art direction that they have had thus far in the game, we can look at so many beautiful character models that they were able to translate for us. I have no doubt that if they really want to, and if they sincerely try it, they will succeed in making Dormammu look awesome in this game, and I just can't wait for that. I'm super excited about that. As far as predictions go for the ruler of the Dark Dimension, the owner of the Dark Dimension, I imagine that he's going to be a native Tier 2 character, as a lot of people are probably thinking as well, but I would like to hear your guys' thoughts as well on that. He'll probably then, if he's a native Tier 2 character, require Black Antimatter and Chaos Nordstones, as Odin and Thanos and Doctor Strange and the ones before have all required. That means he will also require bios, so I can finally sacrifice Hulkling, and who better to sacrifice Hulkling to than the Dark Lord himself. That's not his nickname, but damn it if I'll make it stick. Lastly, in this sneak peek, we are getting the Uru enchanting improvement. So one of the quality of life points or facts that I pointed at in a recent video is being implemented. We are going to get the auto upgrade and all enhanced feature to Uru to just speed up the process of wasting a bunch of gold and not getting any useful Uru out of it. So we can basically fail faster now, guys. And guys, here's hoping that they finally change this intro screen so it's not this long, laggy video of Thanos yelling at Doctor Strange with a teacup, and we get something Dormammu related even. As far as how to obtain Dormammu goes, I would venture a guess, or my prediction is going to be something along the lines of the Doctor Strange epic quest. It makes sense thematically, and it makes sense given that he's a native Tier 2 character, that he would have his own epic quest. And then they could open this up and they could make more use of this button right now, because currently it's just serving as a way to get into the Doctor Strange quest, and they could then have this split in half here, and then chapter 1 could be, finding the Sorcerer Supreme, and then chapter 2 is, I would think, using the Sorcerer Supreme to conquer Dormammu. So in the first epic quest, if you haven't finished it for whatever reason, you awaken Doctor Strange's powers through this story mission, and he returns to his role as, the guardian, the defender of the mystic, and the defender of Earth from Dormammu and other kind of, mystical beings. It would make a lot of sense if maybe chapter 2 was, assuming you've gotten Doctor Strange already, not that you necessarily need him to beat Dormammu, but it could be kind of a thematic thing where it kind of flows one into the other. You have to go maybe into the Dark Dimension. We already have that technically, but it could be another situation, but it would basically be split down the middle and be chapter 1, chapter 2, and then, you'd have Dormammu to deal with, Dormammu to unlock. Instead of maybe building up Dormammu's power, because obviously you wouldn't want to do that, it could basically be the reverse of the epic quest as far as the story of it goes. You're trying to stop him from unlocking his powers, or stop him after he's unlocked his powers. As far as team-ups go for Dormammu, because I've already seen a lot of people talking about this, and I think it's a pretty fun exercise to engage in. Obviously, he needs to have one with Doctor Strange. The most obvious one that jumps out at me is I've come to bargain, but we can do a little bit better than that, guys. I think we can say something like, upon arrival, I wish to barter, or something along those lines. Let me know what you guys can come up with as far as cute Dormammu Doctor Strange team-ups go. If you don't know what the team-ups are, they're the team bonuses that get listed for the character as they interact with other characters from the comics, and it gets, you know, ported over here to the game. They don't have every single interaction, so it's not 100% accurate, but I would be shocked if they did not have a team-up bonus for Doctor Strange and Dormammu. We could also see something for Dormammu and Baron Mordo, because he's one of his, you know, disciples. He's one of his apprentices or whatever. We could see one for Dormammu and Caecilius, you know, purple-eyed disciple, something like that. Too many sorcerers. If you haven't seen the spoiler scene at the end of Doctor Strange, guess what? Mordo's kind of a villain now. So there's that. We could have the fucking cosmic chess match between Odin and Dormammu. There's a lot of team-ups, guys. I'm really excited to see how they're going to portray him in this game. Now, hoping and assuming that they are going to give Dormammu away as a playable character, and that he's not just going to be a giant boss, because there is the possibility that, like the Asgardian bosses, he will just be something to hit, and not something to hit with. It would be interesting to see kind of where he would fit himself in. Obviously, there's a big push for New World bosses. These are getting very stale. We've had these for, it's coming up on a year now that we've had these kinds of world bosses stagnant, the same every week, week after week. You know, 52 weeks of killing this wrinkly old geezer is just a little bit boring. It's a little bit repetitive now. So there is the thought that Dormammu and some of his, you know, cronies, maybe his sister or something like that, could appear as world bosses if they're not playable characters. Obviously, they could make a whole world boss invasion about Dormammu, but I think that wouldn't be enough for the character. That kind of betrays his impact and how massive and how influential of a figure he is. They could, you know, do something wild like update Shadowland and make stage 25 of Shadowland Dormammu, and instead of it being in this like gym, this kind of fight arena, Karate Kid style, they have it on this, like, you know, giant flaming platform in the dark dimension with all these, you know, monsters and demons cheering you on, or cheering for your death, I should say. So that's all that we have right now for the patch, guys. We have the first look that we already covered, and now the one about Dormammu, it seems like. A lot of people are guessing that it's going to happen, or that the update is going to drop after our new 7-day check-in event is finished, which, as you can see, ends in about 9 days. So it would be interesting to see between now and 9 days what we get as far as patch notes, how soon before the update we do get those patch notes, if we get them in a week, in 7 days, or if it takes a little bit longer or a little bit less. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on it and your opinions about Dormammu, about the Dark Dimension. How is he going to play out in this game? Is he going to be overpowered? Do we need another native tier 2 character so soon after Odin? Are you ready for that character? Do you have the hoarded supplies? So let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know how you feel about this update and what it's going to bring potentially. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.